The date is February the 1st. One of the most well-known rivalries in all of college sports is being competed today. Ohio State versus Michigan. The hate is well known, no matter what sport is being played. However, this competition is a lot different today. It has nothing to do with the heated rivalry between the team up north and the team down south. One of the most decorated athletes ever from Ohio State will compete in their last match today. This will be the end of his storybook career. This wouldn't come by injuries or being forced out. It would come by the athlete being so humble to put his team first and to walk away. Through success from youth sports, then success in high school, and finally success in the college world. He would face a fate that was just super unfortunate, and it's one of the saddest stories that wrestling has to offer. But to truly understand why Sammy Sasso decided to walk away from competing for Ohio State University, we must go back to the beginning. This is The Art of Wrestling, a deep dive into Sammy Sasso, once a top talent in the sport, but fate, the universe, gave him one of the saddest stories in the sport.
On my way there, I was shot in a carjacking.
You shot in his lower abdomen on the left side.
You know who did that?
Throughout this channel and deep dives, I've talked about how the Young Guns Wrestling Academy was the academy to go to if you wanted to improve your skills. This is true, but not the whole truth. Located in the Valley of PA, there is another place that is well known to the wrestling world, with that place being named the Steel Valley Renegades. However, before the name switch, they were known as the Dark Knight Wrestling Club. Oh boy, were these athletes just as good as the Young Guns guys. If you were competing at a national tournament and you saw a Dark Knight singlet, you knew that you were not in for a match, but in for a dogfight. Coach Glevo and Coach Parkins will be the two main coaches running the show, as they coach multiple state champions and future Division I stars. With all of these top athletes running around the Dark Knight Wrestling Club, there was one person who I always thought was the poster boy for the Dark Knights, Sammy Sasso. Sammy Sasso would be through and through Dark Knights to the fullest, not ashamed being from the Valley of PA. Sasso would make his name known to the wrestling world as a youth by competing and winning some of the biggest youth tournaments. By the time he hit high school, he would be bringing with him truly a one-of-a-kind style. He would be attending Nazareth High School, one of the best high schools in the state, and he would do nothing but shine from his time starting to the time finished. Coming into high school, Sasso would be the 13th ranked pound-for-pound freshman in the country. He would finish that season as a state runner-up, losing to Spencer Lee in the finals, and he would also win a Fargo title that summer, beating future national finalist Brock Hardy in the finals of Fargo. So after that amazing freshman season, everyone in the wrestling world knew who Sammy Sasso was, but honestly, he was just getting started. Over the next 3 seasons, he would display one of the most amazing careers to come out of the great state of PA. Over the next 4 years, Sammy Sasso would win some of the biggest tournaments in the country. This would include a Flow Nationals title, a Beast of the East title, a Super 32 belt, and an Ironman title, where he won the OW award at the 2016 Ironman over Spencer Lee. Along with all of this national success, he would also have a lot of regular season success. He would win 2 PA state titles and be consistently ranked in the top 5 for his weight class for pretty much start to finish for his high school career. In Sammy Sasso's final 2 years of high school, he would post 86 wins and only 1 loss to future 2-time national champion David Carr. However, the standout moment for Sammy Sasso's wrestling career in high school would come at the 2017 Who's Number 1 showdown, where he took on Anthony Artelona. So quick backstory, these two athletes have been trading wins over the past few months, with Anthony Artelona getting the win at Fargo in a 10-10 crazy match. But what gets lost in history is right before the Fargo finals that Sammy Sasso and Anthony Artelona will actually have another match at Junior Duels, where Sammy Sasso would get the win 4-2 and also a dogfight. So for the main event, the two athletes would square off. But one small detail, the 2017 Who's Number 1 match would be in Sammy Sasso's backyard, the Valley of PA, at Lehigh University, so everyone and their fucking moms would be there to support Sammy Sasso. And he would blow the motherfucking roof off the place. He would pin Anthony Artelona in the second period, which would be a storybook way for him to start his senior season, and by the end of his senior year, he also had a new place to call home. As stated earlier, Sammy Sasso was a top talent, so he didn't have a problem figuring out where he would be able to wrestle for the future. The Ohio State University would be the lucky winners of the Sammy Sasso sweepstakes. Before jumping into the college scene, I want to talk about why Sammy Sasso was a top-ranked athlete. This was done by Dark Knights. Obviously, training with the top athletes helped him develop his craft and his style in the sport, but it was more so the lifestyle that each and every athlete from the Dark Knight Academy brought every single match. And this would be a take no shortcuts approach. And Sammy Sasso would buy into this method fully, as this man ducked no fades. All smoke was wanted. He would be damn near competing in everything. Even Greco was welcome. Most top athletes only want to compete at major tournaments, but Sammy Sasso and the Dark Knights wouldn't give a damn if it was a tournament in their backyard or the Super 32 finals. They just wanted a dogfight. And this method approach paired with a one-of-a-kind style was the reason for such high-level success for Sammy Sasso. Speaking of the style that he would bring, it would be kinda if you match Yanni Diakomahalis with Ben Askren and mix him into one, as he could scramble his ass off such as Yanni, but he could also end the match at any point in given time with a Kratos such as Ben Askren. When Sasso got to Ohio State, he would get right to work, and honestly saying that's an understatement. For his redshirt year, he would post a 19-2 record, beating 4 top 15 ranked athletes back to back to win the Midlands Championship, with 2 of those guys being All-Americans. After seeing this redshirt year, I'm sure that Tom Ryan and Jay Jaggers and everyone else at Ohio State was happy as fuck, as they had one of those ones. Hell, Sammy Sasso would even have a dogfight with his teammate Michael Jordan, who was an NCAA runner-up in a 9-7 match. Along with this, he would win the U20 US Open at 70 kilograms. He did this all as a redshirt. Hell, most guys don't do this in a motherfucking career. So, not only was Sammy Sasso ready for college, but he was aiming to be the top dog. So, for his first season starting for Ohio State, he would post 24 wins and only 3 losses. During the season, Sammy Sasso would have some breakout moments, such as beating Pat Lugo and Brayton Lee in the same weekend, who were both ranked number 1 and number 4 at the time. However, Sammy Sasso would have some low moments during this first year starting for Ohio State, but it necessarily wasn't his fault. He would not get the opportunity to compete at the NCAA tournament as it was canceled due to the COVID pandemic, but this tournament would be very important, a blessing in disguise, if you will, for the future of Sammy Sasso, but more on that later. After the tournament was canceled, this wouldn't faze Sammy Sasso at all, as next season he would run the table, going unbeaten, winning a Big Ten championship, and going to the NCAA finals versus Austin O'Connor. This match would be super close, as Austin O'Connor would get the win. However, I call bullshit. With 10 seconds left in the match, it appeared that Sasso had gotten the winning takedown, but the refs did not see what the whole world saw. So Austin O'Connor will get the win in a 3-2 razor close match in his first but not his last NCAA finals appearance. Over the coming years, Sammy Sasso would become a centerpiece for the Ohio State team. He would have some major wins, going unbeaten in Big Ten dual competition with an impressive 34 wins and 0 losses in his first 4 years starting for the team. He would be a 4-time All-American, being a runner-up in 2021 and a runner-up in 2023, which leads me to my next point. After finishing a runner-up to Austin O'Connor, he would be in the finals once again, but this time versus Yanni Diakomahalis. And the footnote here is, whenever he made it to the finals in the 2021 versus Austin O'Connor, that the Ivy League schools wasn't competing, so Yanni Diakomahalis didn't have a shot to, compete against these great guys such as Sammy Sasso and Austin O'Connor. And the second footnote being that these 2 athletes met right before the national finals at the Las Vegas Invitational, where Yanni would get the win. And with Yanni going for his 4th NCAA title, he would control the match from start to finish, beating Sammy Sasso in a razor close match. But after the match, I saw something truly special from Sammy Sasso. He didn't make any excuses. He just said that he had to get better. He had to get stronger to beat a guy like Yanni. Most top-ranked guys always have an excuse on why they gotten beaten, but not Sammy. The lessons that he learned in the Valley of PA shaped him to be a stand-up guy, and this could be seen when he competed versus Austin Gomez on the flow card.
Gomez is tough. We want this one. He beat me twice last year, so that's the way things go sometimes. But now it's like you get another opportunity. It's a new day.
He said, and I quote, "Yeah, Gomez beat me twice and I want to get it back." He ducked no fades. Even though he didn't win the match, he wanted to earn the win. He didn't want to take the easy way out. So the 2023 NCAA finals wouldn't be the end for Sammy Sasso. Due to the same tournament that was canceled his redshirt freshman year, he would have an extra year eligibility. And with the field cleared of no more Yanni, Sammy Sasso would be the odds-on favorite to win his first NCAA title. Along with this, he would make the U23 World Team for Team USA. But that's when tragedy would strike. On August 18th, 2023, Sammy Sasso will be a victim of a carjacking near the Ohio State campus. During this carjacking, he would be shot in the stomach before being rushed to the nearby hospital. The gunshot wound would lead Sammy Sasso to undergo emergency surgery to remove the bullet from his spine. This would also lead for Sammy Sasso to have severe nerve damage, which would be life-changing effects, as Sammy Sasso would go from being an NCAA runner-up, getting ready to compete for Team USA, to being in the hospital room for the next 41 days. These injuries would be life-threatening, as doctors didn't know if he would make it, or if he did make it, if he would even be able to walk again. But thankfully, Sammy Sasso would pull through his life-threatening injuries, and when he recovered, he would go straight to the Ohio State wrestling room to reconnect with his team. This had to be a feel-good moment, as Sammy Sasso was the leader of the Ohio State team. But one thing was clear after this terrible accident, with that being that Sammy Sasso wanted to compete again. He did not want to let this terrible situation stop him from doing what he loved. However, the road for recovery wouldn't be an easy one. This would be an uphill battle, as doctors told Sammy Sasso that he would never be the same again. The nerve damage took a toll on him, but he would start his long road to recovery in the summer, putting in work 24/7 all day, every day, even learning how to walk again, all for the opportunity to be back on that mat and finish out his legendary career. And it happened. Sammy Sasso will make his return to the Ohio State lineup versus UTC, but this time at a different weight class, 165 pounds. This move up was done so he could fill a hole in the lineup, showing his true character in the process, putting the team first. He would win his first comeback match versus UTC, bringing everyone in the crowd to their feet and bringing the whole world to damn their tears. But it wasn't all rainbows for the return of Sammy Sasso. The unique style that I mentioned earlier in the video was gone. The style that made Sammy Sasso so fun to watch, the ability to scramble or the ability to end the match at any point in given time, was no more. The nerve damage that he suffered was still noticeable. The leg defense that made Sammy Sasso a top-ranked guy was a shell of itself. This would lead to Sammy Sasso losing more Big Ten duel matches in one season than he did the last 4 years. He would have 12 wins and 6 losses by the time of the Ohio State versus Michigan duel rolled around, which leads me back to the start of this video. Sammy Sasso would lose to Chase Aldate, shout out Satellite Chase, in an 8-0 major decision. This would be his 3rd straight loss, which I'm pretty sure never happened in Sammy Sasso's life. So once again, he would show his true character. He would walk away from the sport that gave him so much joy over his lifetime. Shortly after the duel, Sammy Sasso would go on the Mark Bader show on Flow. He would talk about all the trials and tribulations that he faced while recovering from this injury. And he also wished the best for the Ohio State team moving forward. So he knew that the right decision was not to be selfish, but to step away so the team could have their best chance to win. Damn, if you're Tom Ryan, Jay Jaggers, Logan Stever, you cannot ask for a better person to be your leader, to lead you into battle. Truly a fearless leader. From losing to athletes on the biggest stages such as the NCAA finals and taking it on the chin with no complaining, to being shot with his career being cut short because some stupid ass person. But all Sammy Sasso did was smile through it all. During this time period, I gained so much respect for Sammy Sasso because he showed what it truly meant to be a competitor. As this situation wasn't fair across the board, it wasn't fair to him because he put in so many hours to perfect his craft to be the best wrestler that he could be. It wasn't fair to the fans because we got his greatness ripped away right as he was stepping into his prime. After graduating from Ohio State and stepping away from the sport, Sammy Sasso will return home back to his roots, but this time as an assistant coach to Lehigh. This news made the whole wrestling world over the moon excited. No one deserved this more than Sammy Sasso. Someone who loved the Valley of PA would now be back in the same place where he grew up and learned how to be such an amazing person. Everything was going well until it wasn't.
Former Ohio State wrestler Sammy Sasso now facing criminal charges out of Pennsylvania.
As Sammy Sasso would be arrested and charged for gun possession and having a THC card. This would lead Lehigh to fire Sammy Sasso before he even stepped foot in the building. Like, Lehigh, are you fucking serious? The guns that Sammy Sasso had, he purchased them legally. He just didn't have a carrying license in PA yet because he had it in Ohio. Like, are you so serious? Why would you not want a person such as Sammy Sasso to be around your program? After everything that he's been through, why would he not have a firearm? After everything he's been through, why would you guys not give him a break? Time and time again, Sammy Sasso has showed you that how great of a person he was. Why the hell would you not want him as a coach? He's from the Valley of PA. So So you fire him because he got pulled over for having an expired registration? This was truly heartbreaking to myself and many others across the wrestling world, and all I have to say is just shame on you, Lehigh. Shame on you. However, Sammy Sasso would get the happy ending that he deserved, as he is now the new assistant coach for the Rutgers RTC program. So many trials and tribulations that Sammy Sasso faced, he never quit once. He never blamed anyone. He never took the easy way out. He played the cards that was simply dealt to him. And that's what makes this such a sad story in my opinion. Someone who was a top talent in the sport, someone who always put his team first, showed others on multiple occasions on what type of person he was, got his career ripped away from him, all for nothing. For someone who didn't think twice about him and how this would affect him, his family, and his coaches. But until next time.
August 18th of 2023, I was shot in the gut